It's been 1 week since Apple released its highly anticipated augmented reality headset, the Apple Vision Pro. That's only in the United States for now. Very few people have got their hands on one in France, and one of them is on set with us, Nicolas Lelouch, journalist for the tech news site Numérama, who joins us on set once again. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, we've got Peter O'Brien here, our technology editor, to ask to fire away some of those questions. Go ahead.
Shana. Yeah, so of course the hype is still growing 1 week after it's been released in the United States because it's a first generation Apple product. The company behind the iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, the Mac, even if some of these products were slow to start, they obviously became the leaders in their field of consumer technology. So it's no surprise that people are still excited.
They changed our lives sometimes, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Mac certainly did, the iPhone certainly
Absolutely.
did. And of course, I think what we can see as the consensus is that it's very impressive, it's very expensive, but it's also quite ludicrous to use in public. And we've seen a deluge of viral videos of people using the Apple Vision Pro in strange places.
Seriously? Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. But look at this. All of my windows are up here. Check it out.
Yeah, so obviously some of these videos they're spoofs or they're people doing it for fun and to go viral, right? Like, I don't think many of them are people seriously doing it, but they were taken seriously enough, at least the ones with people driving at the same time, for the US Transport Secretary Pete Buttigieg to actually issue a warning to people using this while driving their self-driving car. But I think the fact that someone can even whiz down a road on an electric skateboard while using it on their head shows how far the tech has come and perhaps how far it's going to go in the future. I don't know what you thought looking at those, Nicolas.
Yeah, I agree with that. The hype is huge for that product. And you're right on something, that the fact that a lot of people that wear it in the street, in the car, honestly, they don't see anything when they wear it. They're just for the video. But the interest part, I'm going to do a live demo with you right now. If I wear the headsets, I can see the world. And that's the amazing thing with that product. Right now, I can see you too. We can talk directly. You're soon gonna see my eyes, my fake eyes, replicated by the AI in the headsets. And the interest for Apple is to have a computer. They call it computer, not headsets, that allows you to see the real world, but also to see applications. So if I want to put a web page in front of me, I can do it. I can resize it. There is no limit, like with the computer screen, for example.
So obviously the pictures we're seeing behind you are ones that you took earlier when you were testing it for Numérama.
Yeah, we can't make the demo live, unfortunately, but right now I'm doing it. I have my settings in front of me, and if I put my finger on the button right here, I can see my applications, I can see the photos, I can move it by looking at the ball and making it everywhere in the place.
What are you connected to? Is that a battery?
It's a battery, absolutely.
Does it need that to work?
It's heavy. Yeah, the product is heavy. Even without a battery, it's not very comfortable. I guess there are a lot of things they can improve on that side. So they chose, and I guess it was the right choice.
Do you know how much it weighs?
More than 600 grams.
Okay.
So that's a lot. That's kind of an iPad Pro. So if you want to make a comparison,
on your head,
an iPad
on
Pro
your
on your
face,
head is
on
not
your nose.
really good. On my nose, on my forehead specifically,
your eyebrows,
it's not very comfortable. I have used it a lot for the last week, almost 4 or 5 hours a day. Sorry?
Did you get dizzy? I heard some people getting dizzy.
Sometimes, but Mass majority of the time, it's comfortable enough to be used for a lot of time without sickness. But I guess at some point, if I watch a lot of movies, big movies for a long time, I can have to want to remove it to make a pause. So that's why the technology may not be ready for mainstream. I guess we are not going to see a lot of people in the street without for some years, but they have something really interesting, and maybe it's going to replace the TV and the computers.
I think one thing they've surely got to improve is the eyes, right? If you're looking dead at you, your eyes, we like to say in English, are offside. They're so wide.
I hope I'm not looking like that. I can remove it if you want, but
for the best.
Normally I'm better without the headset.
I already feel like you're much more a person now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is like, I mean, one of the things, it's also about communication. These are all communication tools. And yet at the same time, like, the simplest forms of communication are the most effective.
Yeah.
And when you're wearing that, I feel like you're not even really in the same place as
However, Shona, what it has improved, I don't know if you'd agree with this, is the FaceTime experience. Because there's cameras on the inside of the mask as well as on the outside. So it recreates your face in 3D. I remember reading your article on this, and you phoned your dad. And what he didn't realise was he was seeing an avatar of you and not you.
I don't know how he didn't realise. I'm really disappointed by him. But it took him, I guess, 15 to 20 seconds to understand, oh, that's not you. So, it can trick some people. And I guess it's the most technology product ever released by Apple. They never have released a product with so much technologies in it. But even without, it's not perfect enough to be something that everyone can buy. It's very expensive, almost.
Yeah, it's like $3,500.
Exactly, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
However, isn't that much for a status symbol, right? Because surely it's a first-generation Apple product. Then don't tend to be kept up bought by the masses. So it is going to be bought by people looking for a status symbol. And in that case, it's sort of in a...
And if the promise is kept in a hypothetical world where the promise is kept, you can replace your TV, your computers, you can have several screens at once. So this product can compare to other devices that you can replace it with it. But the thing is, it's not ready enough to be on your face for the whole day. So it's still complicated to say that you can recommend it to everyone.
So when Steve Jobs told his biographer, Walter Isaacson, I finally cracked it, he was talking about the future of television. He told his biographer, I finally cracked it. We never found out what he was referring to. Do you think this is the kind of thing he would have had in mind?
I honestly think this is in the good direction. I wasn't thinking that way a week ago. I was convinced that Apple was maybe doing a mistake and they had not a good view on the future. But now that I wore it for a week, I can say that I want to use that kind of product. I think that having an infinite amount of screen with the size I want when I want it is a cool direction, and it can eliminate all of the screen and all of the lights in
everything else.
Yeah, everything else.
Yeah.
Only one device that allows you only you to see the things you want to see. But at the same point, I'm not sure the product is ready for. It's already a V1, not a prototype.
But it's not the
really
first
V1.
kind of thing that exists, right? Aren't there other, like VR headsets on the market?
Absolutely, yeah, there are other VR headsets. It's the most sophisticated one, I would say. The screen, for example, I have not mentioned that, but when you look at the screen, you don't see any pixel. And that's
you wrote
impressive.
in your article that they were potentially the best screens. It's the best screen in the world.
I believe it can be the best screen in the world because you never have that amount of pixel in the same size. So that's really impressive what they've done with that product. And when you are in it, when you look at a movie, for example, you don't see that it's a screen. You have the feeling you are looking at the reality. So that makes it a different piece of tech than the other VR headset. But of course, Apple has not invented VR. Apple has not invented phone or computer either, but they always perfection for
Yes, and that's what's interesting about.
But I mean, I find it interesting that the first generation here is called the Vision Pro. They usually reserve that for later on when it's the sort of higher end model. So perhaps in a later version, we'll get something called the Vision or the Vision
probably.
Lite.
The Vision Air, there are a lot of things for them.
Maybe it would be more lightweight, but I still question whether people will be willing to wear something on their face all day. I mean, I guess people wear glasses.
But also, like, I don't want to be around someone who's wearing something on their face. Like, it just feels like it
weird.
almost feels like right now it feels a little bit rude. You know?
I agree. I'm
it's
sorry
like,
for that.
No, I'm not talking about you, but like I'm in my world and I can see you, but you don't know if you
don't know what I see.
You don't know what I see, and we can't really. it just feels like I don't know.
Can't share the experience.
Yeah.
You can't share the
I mean, surely
experience.
that's share
that,
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean,
Socially,
everybody's
they're
going to be
more-
sitting on the same couch and watching the same thing, but separately in their
Yeah.
own worlds, right?
I guess that's one of the social problem with that product is that it's a product you can only use alone. You can't share it with friends, so that limits the things you can do with it. And even if you see a lot of people in the street with it, it's not a product you can use when you walk. It's not a product you can use outside. It's a product for the inside. It's
Right.
a product for the office and for the sofa.
But what-
for the
People are
what-
home.
trying. People are trying.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but like
people are
what? But
trying.
is that what it's made for? Like I thought it was also made for giving directions in real time, or I don't know. Like what is it? No,
there is
not
no
that?
direction,
Okay.
no fitness for now. People want to make people believe they use that to work because
Okay.
it's more futuristic. But the truth is, it's only to replace your computer or your screen for
Okay.
now. But in the future, I'm sure when it's going to be glasses, for example, it's going to improve.
Right, because it's kind of like a hybrid between glasses and a computer, right? Because it's on your face.
Like,
Yeah.
Physically, can they get it down to the size of, like those steampunk kind of glasses with the
Yeah.
sides on? I mean, is that even physically possible? Because you need to occlude what's inside.
That's the dream of a lot of Silicon Valley companies, but the truth is, and you're right, it's physically complicated. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but complicated because all of the transparent glasses have some optic problems. For example, the lights, the colors, it's very complicated to use that outside. So I guess Apple for years wanted to make glasses, but they realized it's not going to be possible for maybe 10 years, maybe more. So they chose that kind of devices because it imitates the glasses. I can see the world using cameras, but I can do a lot more than with glasses or than with a computer. So that's a first pick. That's a first try. I'm sure it's going to be really better. I want it to be better because I liked my first trick in it, and we will see in the future how it's going to evolve. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess.